Hey everyone, this is Bridget, and today we're going to be talking about the all-knowing state, also known as claircognizance, which is an actual extrasensory ability. And why is this important or significant to you? Well, I would say that most people are faced with this idea of ambiguity, hesitation, mistrust of themselves, their intuition, what to do, what not to do. There's a lot of opportunity in our world, and it's like, well, do I do that? I don't know. Do I trust my intuition on that? I don't know. And this hesitancy is a huge energy drain. It just moves all your life force out, because who you truly are is truly infinite, is truly whole. And so if there's these moments of I don't know, that's the opposite of what you actually are. You know that is actually what you are. And there's been a lot of programming and conditioning to teach us that you don't know. You don't know what you're talking about, little guy. Or, these different conditionings that they have come up to make you doubt yourself, right? And today I wanted to move into this space and help show you guys how to get into this knowing space, which then just supersedes all of these ambiguous believing, faith, trust. Those are actually kind of lower on the totem pole, and it's better just to shoot straight for pure knowingness, which will then wash down upon you with this grandeur of the true you, truly who you are, your own infinity. And from this infinite space, there is no doubt. You just are. And whatever that looks like practically in your everyday life will come through. It's this absolute unabashed decisiveness and clarity that comes through when you're in this state. So if you have challenges with self-esteem, need to get back to this source point. If there's I don't trust my intuition, get back to this source point, because from this source point you will know. And you will know that your life is conspiring in your favor to bring to you whatever is in your highest good. And so whatever you are then faced with, or whatever comes up, you know that you have the ability to go and to face that, because you're connected back to source. So when we're talking about this extrasensory perception, it is something that's visceral, experiential. It goes beyond the mind. It is the soul's barometer of your true north. Whereas something like trust or belief, those are more mental, organized principles that then make you feel okay because of this thing, this belief that's in alignment. So it's very much in the mental space. But what we're doing is actually calling in the soul space. And it's very much so, for me, it's in the body, and it's deep within the core of you. If you can feel and tune into the central channel of your actual body, going from the crown all the way down into your heart, down into your solar plexus, it is that central channel that your higher self runs through. And so when you're experiencing this knowingness, it is the alignment of your higher self coming into your physical vessel, and your physical vessel thus then being so filled up with light and source that it radiates. And you remember, you know that you are infinite. And that's this idea of the I am consciousness. And that is what we're wanting to get to, because then it translates, this frequency translates into this physical dimension, into just something that you need to do, like a decision. Okay, well, should I go on this trip? Should I not? That higher power has the ability to come through and answer in a visceral way beyond the mind figuring it out. And so it's so much easier to navigate life. And this was one of my greatest tools as I started waking up, is going back to this state and becoming to breathe it, to act from this space of pure knowingness. And from that space, that's where I've gleamed a lot of my, it's beyond confidence, you see, to say put out this information about my experiences with extraterrestrials, or to do that breast video that's like, whoa, it's a little out there, a little bit racy, but it's not at the same time. To put myself out there in these certain ways, how did I get the ability to do it? And it's through this sensing, it's through this expression that I've been able to do it. And so it's really important to develop. Now, if you have no clue and there's no basis in your energy field of what this looks like, one of the ways to begin to feel and perceive this, because it takes the quieting first and foremost. It's not the mind, and so it's really about dropping in. And so whatever place, whatever space allows you to drop in. For me, it's always nature. And that knowingness of creation and the organization in which it flows is so evident and so tangible when I'm, say, like in nature, that it then puts me into that space through my empathic feelings, which all of you guys have, to go, oh, wow, like there is something more. And so whether that's being in nature, whether that's seeing the grandeur of people smiling, people creating, people becoming triumphant, because it is through this knowing that the flow state then originates, which then makes people do the quote impossible, and brings together the majesty that is humanity in its true form. And from this, of course, then it means being in a mindless space. So through meditation, you can get to this too. Absolutely, that's like the foremost place. But it kind of takes the mind a while to break through those layers to get into the space. That's why I like things like nature that can get you there a bit more quickly and teach you how to calibrate and synchronize your mind to be able to let go, to drop into this deeper space. And one of the easiest ways, which is kind of interesting, is what in your life are you really, say, good at? It's something that takes no mind, right? You just know. You're like, yeah, like I know that I'm good at cooking that meal. I know that I'm good at, I know that mountain that I climb. I know that I know this certain thing. So even if it's just a certain thing in a certain category that you're really good at, that's like, it takes no mind. That flow, again, that space is a piece. That's just like a little baby fraction of the greater knowing. But through that piece, it's a doorway in to begin to see the grandeur of the bigger picture that we're talking about right now. So using that and noticing, again, that there's this correlation between the knowing and confidence and empowerment, and of course beyond belief, beyond trust. It just is. It is. And so whatever that is, taking a look at that and really getting into that feeling state. So if there's something that you are really good at, that you're just like, oh yeah, I got that. Do that thing as the practice, and notice that feeling that arises within you as you're doing that particular thing that you got down. And through that, be aware then of the state that it puts you in. And then from that state, from this very specific angle, begin to span out and reach your sphere to the bigger version of your knowing that can then begin to flow into every part of your life and everything that you do, and begin to be in this now space. It very much so is presence itself, but just allowing the grandeur of who you are, allowing that spaciousness to receive your magic, that you are so special, that you even exist right now on earth. That is so special. And really beginning to just tune into that and allow yourself to receive how absolutely precious you are and how absolutely precious existence is. And in that space, all of this energy will begin to flow into you and fill you up and fill your vessel, because our vessels, these human bodies, even though they seem limited because they are of the physical material world, we have just scratched the surface of the abilities that our genetics have to experience source and these higher frequencies. And so just allowing this greater space of source of your higher self to fill you up so that you can truly align and be your true self. And so as you feel this transmission, now begin to think about like the silliness in a way of like, well, I don't know if I trust my intuition, or I don't know if, I feel confident enough to go talk to that person or do this thing. It becomes almost silly. And so always checking back in when those moments come up of our humanness, and remembering that the true human is actually truly super, and tapping back into this greater energy. So whatever that takes for you to get to, there's many other people talking about this subject that have transmission to bring this through, and so getting into that state. Now it's just a matter of, well then, what do you do with this state? And that's one of the reasons that I wanted to do this video, is you incorporate it into every freaking thing in your everyday life. Every interaction, every action, every feeling comes from this place. And that's, I think, some of the disconnect when we hear about the I am president, the I am presence, the I am presence, or like I am infinity. It's like, okay, and I need to go make a sandwich. Like, how does this translate? And it translates in every way. It's just about bringing these frequency streams through into the physical. And that's actually what we're meant to be doing here, is to bring heaven onto earth. And sometimes, yes, we do need to go up and out to refuel, to remember that we are this bigger everything, this bigger infinity. And then we bring it back down, and it's this flow game, right? And so I wanted to come and share that with you, the presence and some ways to get into the knowing state, as well as how to translate it into your everyday life. But it is ultimately where all of us are moving to exist from. And from this space, once you get into spiritual circles, that might lead to eye gazing for hours on end, or hugs that last 15 minutes. And sometimes that's necessary, and sometimes it's not. And so however this looks for you is perfect. It doesn't have to look like super spiritual. It can very much so just be the presence of an instantaneous moment. It doesn't need to be a thing that's like oozy and drags on. So see how it feels authentic to you, and the authenticity is a component of this knowingness. So see how this translates through your expression, because your unique expression is so absolutely needed here. And so to tap into this is to truly bring your gifts to the earth, and just know that you're meant to be here for a reason. And yes, there's been, as you can see, a lot of good things coming through here for me as I go to the mountain, and more to come. So I hope that's been helpful. Please comment below if you have any ways to tap into your own knowing state. I'm curious how you guys do it. But it's a development, and it takes some time. Sometimes you're in it. Like right now I'm in it. Sometimes I'm not. So it goes up and down. So comment below about that. And I really appreciate you guys watching. Again, like and subscribe. And there's actually this little bell button, I think, on the subscribe homepage. And click that bell button if you want more instantaneous notifications of new videos from me. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you soon with another video.